Okay, so we are the Environmental Merit of Electric Vehicles, Group 3, by Ryan, Phillip, Stephanie, Omar, and Osokam. Next slide. So, claims. There are many claims surrounding the issue of electric vehicles, and if they actually do reduce greenhouse gas emissions and pollution, which is their, of course, main selling point. As a group, we have come to the claim that electric vehicles, which, while needing an infrastructure and setup which is kind of difficult to maintain, provide much environmental merit nonetheless. At the heart of this issue is the overall claim that electric vehicles significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions as opposed to creating them. According to Energy Stage, since electric cars can rely on batteries, which are rechargeable, electric cars do not create tailpipe emissions. Furthermore, as a result of rechargeable batteries, less money is spent on fuel, meaning all energy can be sourced domestically, and often through renewable energy sources such as solar panel systems. Next slide. The importance of our claim, and in turn the claim at the heart of the issue, is that it showcases the more environmentally friendly mode of transport. The claim brings to light the significant benefit that electric cars have, especially in the current landscape of environmental concern. Next slide. A secondary claim on this issue is that electric cars are more energy efficient than gasoline-powered ones. Electric cars are much more efficient in the fact that they actually use the power. According to Energy Stage, AEV batteries convert 59 to 62% of energy into vehicle movement, while gas-powered vehicles only convert between 17 and 21. Additionally, according to Cohen Chevy, although they are a stakeholder, keep in mind, electric cars can offer efficiencies around 70%, taking into account variance across models. The claims made, Cohen Chevy is a stakeholder in the topic of electric vehicles, as they are a car dealership and would like to sell as much as they can by pandering to the product. Energy Stage is a company which primarily focuses on trying to get people to switch to more renewable energy sources, specifically solar power. However, they do not directly benefit from speaking positively about electric vehicles, but rather indirectly as they still advocate for renewable energy use. Next slide, and I'll pass it over to Stephanie.
Next slide. So the evidence of claim is while fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas are by far the most significant contributor to global climate change, electric vehicles offer many environmental benefits. So the studies show that electric vehicles are better for the environment. They emit fewer greenhouse gases and air pollution than gasoline or diesel vehicles because electricity generation does not cause environmental pollution. They usually follow a form of renewable energies such as solar powers. Next slide. So this takes into account their production and generation to keep them running. The evidence supporting the environment benefits of electric vehicles is generally considered to be high quality and based on a range of sources, including scientific studies, government report, and industry research. Next slide. In terms of policy, studies show that electric vehicles produce significantly fewer greenhouse gas emissions than conventional gasoline-powered vehicles. In terms of precision and sufficiency, there is a large and growing body of research on subject, and the findings are unanimously supported by experts in fields. Although some discrepancy due of course remained, in terms of representativeness and quality. A recent study by Yale School of Environment, Public Service in Natural Communication find that electric vehicles have a significant advantage over conventional vehicles in terms of emission compared to indirect emission from fossil fuels powered vehicles. Next slide.
Values and assumptions. Assumptions of stakeholders. The values and assumptions of stakeholders in the management of electric cars differ, such as government regulators, prioritizing reducing emissions, and automakers prioritizing profit. These values and assumptions inform the positions taken by stakeholders, such as regulators offering incentives for electric car adoption and automakers investing in electric car production. The values and assumptions of stakeholders are revealed through their actions and statements, and understanding them is important for effectively managing the adoption and promotion of electric cars while meeting the needs of different stakeholders. Assumptions in the current discourse. There are both reality-based and value-based assumptions surrounding electric cars, including their lower carbon footprint and the necessity of adoption to combat climate change. It is important to recognize and address these assumptions in developing strategies that balance the needs of expectations of different stakeholders, including consumers, automakers, and regulators. The extent to which values and assumptions are discussed varies among stakeholders, but understanding them is crucial in promoting the environmental merit of electric cars while meeting stakeholder needs. Perspectives, positions of different stakeholders. Stakeholders' perspectives and positions on electric cars are influenced by both evidence and values and/or assumptions. Government regulators prioritize reducing the environmental impact of transportation. Automakers prioritize profitability, and environmental groups prioritize sustainability and reducing carbon footprints. Consumers prioritize reducing their personal impact on the environment while considering cost effectiveness, and understanding these values and assumptions is crucial for balancing stakeholder needs and promoting the environmental merit of electric cars.
Techniques of persuasion. The techniques of persuasion used in this claim are logical reasoning and emotional appeal, and it can be counter-argued. The claim clearly and logically connects electric vehicles and it reduces greenhouse gas emission. It also highlights the environmental benefits of electric vehicles, which could appeal to people's concern about the Earth's health. Understanding the claim and the disadvantages of the claim can strengthen its overall argument and demonstrate thoughtful consideration of all sides. Next slide. There are various methods to persuade an audience, but there are always common successful techniques to pull people in. Some typical successful methods to convince an audience include offering facts and developing a compelling, clear, brief argument. Giving statistics and information is critical for attracting people to electric cars, since with facts and evidence on how eco-friendly they are, people will believe and recognize everything. The National Renewable Energy Laboratory published a study in 2020 that compared the life cycle emissions of electric gasoline in 50 US states, and they demonstrated that electric vehicles produce fewer greenhouse gas emissions. This study led many people in the US to believe that electric vehicles are environmentally friendly and made electric vehicles a better buy. People have always been attracted to claims that are logical and straightforward arguments. The International Energy Agency produced a paper claiming that electric cars may cut transportation pollution emissions by 2050. The report provided a clear and comprehensive explanation of how and why this would work. Many individuals were lured to electric automobiles as a result of this. Next slide. The techniques of persuasion that was most compelling to my group was emotional appeal. Emotional appeal is a persuasive technique that appeals to people's emotions, values, and beliefs rather than just presenting facts and logic. In the context of electric vehicles, my group felt that emotional appeal could evoke feelings that concern the environment and the future of the planet, which could tap into people's values and beliefs in sustainability and responsibility. Emotional appeal can be a powerful, persuasive technique when used effectively, as it can help people connect with an issue on a personal level feel a sense of responsibility to take an action. That is why the emotional appeal is the best persuasive tactic, and it could draw many people to the claim of electric vehicles while having a complex infrastructure to set up and maintain. Have much environmental merit, specifically in reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Next slide.
Stakeholder identification. With the generation of electric vehicles, there have many groups of individuals affected by the promotion and innovation. In the world of automobiles, there has been a rise in the standards required from each brand since the revelation of electronic vehicles. As mentioned, there are many stakeholders in the world of electronic vehicles. For example, we have the consumers, which are a major investment. The generation of electric cars are meant to make things better for consumers. Consumers are a major stakeholder in the introduction of electronic vehicles, as they are very much influenced and affected by this technology. Individuals may purchase the electric vehicles for various reasons, maybe because it helps the environment or just to increase their standards of living, but consumers play a major role as stakeholders. We also have environmental groups. These are stakeholders affected by the results of the use of electronic vehicles on the environment. We have bodies of organization that are based on the concern of the environment, investing into the benefits that electric vehicles have and will bring into the environment. Of course, we also have the stakeholders like government regulators. With the benefits incurred by the revolution of electric vehicles, the government as a body involved with the care of citizens and the public as a stakeholder will invest and improve to the manufacture of electric vehicles, as it benefits not only the civilians, but the environment, as it reduces the toxins released into the environment by for-propelled vehicles. Next slide. Conclusion. Well, as a group, we have come to the realization of the effectiveness of electronic vehicles, not just to the community, but to stakeholders. We all agree to the manifestation of electric vehicles, and we do believe that it is very beneficial as an investment to all stakeholders involved. In the process of our research, we have come to see how much damage our gas-propelled vehicles do to the environment, and in our time of reflection, have been persuaded to join the movement of going electric. Electric vehicles produce much lower greenhouse gases than gas-propelled vehicles, which means it's the most eco-friendly choice for consumers and the environment as a whole, and overall has much environmental merit. Thank you.